Hello and welcome back to Railway Empire 2. We are off on the into the 4th chapter of the campaign, 4 of 5, the penultimate chapter. Looking forward to this one. This time we are indeed heading deep into Texas, southern Texas as well as central Texas, and what we got up there? I'm guessing a bit of northern Texas as well. It is the South Central States. The chapter is the Sunset Route. New Orleans. I can never say it properly. New Orleans. Just be as lazy with it as possible. So Louisiana in the mix as well. A little bit swampy perhaps for building rail on, but we'll give it a go. I don't know how they're going to represent that in the chapter, but we'll find out. Our hometown is Beaumont, or is it Beaumont? Beaumont, one of the two. No ranking yet, we have not played. So, let's see. We are Madam C.J. Ward. No, we're not. We are Grantee. I tell you what. Let's have Erase, my wife. There we go. We are playing as my wife today. But well, not just today, but for the entire chapter. Yes, we are the Texas and New Orleans Railroad. Tea and no. Well, I've got a cup of tea, so that's lovely. What are our perks? Manufacturer. Factory and rural business upgrades are 30% cheaper. That's lovely. You know, I'm a big fan of buying rural businesses and factories. Factories are the ones in town or in the city, and rural businesses are the ones scattered about outside of the city limits. We're also a visionary. All new buildings within a city are 50% cheaper. Does that include stations? Oh, if that includes stations, that's kind of lovely, isn't it? What's your downside? Harsh leadership. Personnel costs are 15% more. Not really that bad, is it? We can deal with that. Yes. I mean, we do like to have a lot of staff, but I'll take that. Absolutely. Shall we get into the game? Oh yes, a quick look. Everything seems to be pretty much standard. City founding is on. Regional concessions are on. Everything else seems as it has been. We've got 2 competitors today and going forward. Refunds are unlimited.
One of the main opponents of my dream that night was the manufacturer. I knew I could not underestimate her. During my time in America, I had seen what industrialists like her could accomplish. The Southern Pacific Mammoth Transcontinental Project was to connect San Francisco with New Orleans. To complete the final piece, the Southern Pacific had bought out a local railroad company, the Texas and New Orleans Railroad. During the Civil War, the Texas and New Orleans had provided a vital supply route. Now, nearly a decade later, however, its network was dilapidated and nearly unusable. If the Southern Pacific wanted to cross the Louisiana swamps, it would have to find the right investor to do it.
You sure took your time getting here. I don't tolerate sloppiness like that in my company. Now you work for Collis Potter Huntington, and I didn't help create the first 2 transcontinental railroad routes by ever allowing mediocrity. We will make history. After all, I didn't buy up the Texas and New Orleans Railroad for the hell of it. When we're done here, a single railroad will stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific, the first of its kind. I shall call it the Sunset Route. Your job will be to take care of the last stretch of the route, the heart of it, so to speak, from Austin to the mouth of the Mississippi. I have a huge project to oversee, so I'll give you plenty of elbow room. The Texas and New Orleans is a shadow of what it once was. The old glory has sunk into the swamp, and only East Texas has a small remnant left. This is where you start. Create a foundation for us to build on.
Oh, there we go. There's a lot to take in. We're in Beaumont. We cannot buy a North Texas just yet. We have connection bonuses galore. We shall take a look at our tasks shortly. We should definitely grab that before we look at anything, as it's going to be much cheaper, isn't it, at this stage of the game? As likewise with our industries and our rural businesses. Given our character perks, we can upgrade them, can't we, at a decent price in the cities as well. We've got a connection already established. Not ideal. We'll probably just redo that. In fact, we will. We are connected to the sugar, but we'd like a direct route. The station buildings are interestingly placed. Oh yes, what do we have to do first? Let's sort out our personnel. There we go. We can see harsh leadership plus 15%. So we're going to be dealing with that for the duration of our playthrough. But I don't mind. We'll set it up as we normally do and make the most out of everything. There we go. 125%. I'll go ahead and do that with all of our other staff members. All set. Engineer, stoker, train personnel and security all at 125% efficiency. Lovely. So let's take a look at our tasks before we do anything. Connect 5 rural businesses to our rail network. That's that's pretty much what we're going to do anyway as part of the connection bonuses. We need that money, don't we, so that we can expand as fast as possible. Reach 90,000 citizens in the East Texas region. Was that what we just unlocked, or is that where we are? Does it tell us? Do you tell us what that includes? Austin, Houston, Beaumont. Oh, that's it. I was going to read more. Only 3. Well, there we go. Austin, Houston, and Beaumont. That's what we've got to concentrate on, which is these 3 around here. So we'll have a nice little connection there. Bring in all the goodies. Connect up our logs. I don't think we can buy these yet, so we're going to have to dance around them. We can buy them. Pricey. We might want to... Yeah, we might want to just hook up around it at the moment. And let's have a look at our research points. Anything good to start with. Anything that's going to allow us to expand cheaper, which is always the way to go, isn't it? What have we got? Tactics. I mean, yes, we are going to be bidding, no doubt. Mainly for buying the... Yes, for buying the rural businesses, right? It will start an auction. 5%'s quite a hefty sum. I'm going to go with that rather than these 200 ones. What do we got? Maintenance requirements. They're all good. Reduce the price of new locomotives by an additional 5%. Also a good one. If we can get 2 for the 200 points we've got. If you were watching the last series, because of our bond one here, where is it? This one, is it? Yes, this one. The amount of bonds you can issue. No effect on your score if you have a bond at the end. So personal preference on whether you want to pay it off, but do not sit there waiting to pay it off rather than complete the mission or the chapter, as you will be punished for time taken, but not for how much you owe. I believe it must be associated with your company value, which doesn't fluctuate if you pay it off. Not enough to worry about anyway. Reduce the... Oh, there we go. Reduce the cost of our employees. Sort of... I'd say that would take 5% off the 15%, wouldn't it? That negative. Alright, so we've got a few. Well, there's an early one. The amount of bonds you can issue at the beginning is kind of nice, isn't it? Bigger bonds. Reduce the price of new locomotives. Again, another good one for 100 points. And that's it. I like the sound of this one. bigger bond to start with. It's sort of nice, isn't it? Reduction in personnel is not going to have as much effect, is it? Because we won't have many trains to start with, although I will try. Yes, so let's go for that one. We'll grab that and get a boost in how many bonds we can take out, and cheaper auctions, so that we'll go and buy some of the industries. Lots of engines available. Tyson 10-wheeler is the first one in the list. Now we've got the 51, Rogers Mogul. We should be fairly familiar with these, shouldn't we, by now? I'll just flick through them. All of them. Baldwin 10-wheeler. There we go. These are going to be quite pricey to start with. The Inyo. There we go. Class 121. Brooks Mogul. Mastodon. We've got some new ones, haven't we? Yeah, these are new. Well, that was the last one we saw in the previous chapter. And then we got the Brooks Mogul, which we didn't unlock. We did not unlock the Mastodon either. We've got a couple of locked ones. 2 locked ones, would that be? 3? 3, wouldn't it? Yeah, we've got the Shea Class C, the number 701 De Glen, and the PRRD 12. There we go. Lovely. How much is it going to cost us? There's a lot of action going on, which means it's going to be a little more expensive than it should be, or a lot more expensive. Perhaps we need this to die down a bit. I mean, this one should be fairly cheap. 172,000 plus our deduction, which I can't remember how much it is. Do you know, let's start with that. Yeah, we've got a 30% reduction. So it only cost us 120k for that one. How much is corn going to cost us? Because that's really high, isn't it? We probably want to wait until they die down, but at the same time, we've got to link them up, haven't we? Corn might be a good one because it takes forever for corn to grow, and it's the only corn for pretty much all of these cities. So we can boost that. Yeah, we can boost that quite quickly, can't we? And we can take out a bond, of course. Do you know, let's go for it. 484,000 it should cost us. We only paid 338,000 for it. I like that one. I like that one because a lot of places are going to need wood. We've got to get cows into Austin and into San Antonio. San Antonio, yeah, we've got to hook that up. Corpus Christi down there, Brownsville, all the way down round the coast. We've got Houston and Beaumont. They're the only cities we can really deal with. This is not a real city. Any others we should probably pick up? Maybe that. This one, because we don't have any large cities, we can maybe allow that one to drop to 0. It does put this spike in at the beginning of the playthrough so that it costs a bit to buy it initially. I don't know why they would do that. I guess if you wish to. So we'll wait for this spike to go. None of our cities, I don't believe, are going to require it anytime soon. No, they're not. 2 pips there. A long way off, aren't we, with all of our cities. Beautiful, beautiful. It might be worth buying the grain. Grain's going to be used by both Houston and Beaumont. Or Beaumont? Beaumont. But it is pricey. But we do want to level it up, don't we, as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm going to gamble. I'm going to take it. It's going to cost us a bit to set up our initial network. We can get a bit of a refund with this track here. Rebuild our stations. And then we can think about buying these out later. I know it always takes me a while to get the first building. But let's make sure we connect up all of these so that we can get as much money as possible. And yeah, we'll try and do it without taking a bond for now so that we can get our company value up. And then we can take a larger bond out. Right, let's take a look at the lay of the land. There we go. Beautiful. It's kind of nice, isn't it? It's not too bad. Especially if we stay up in this area, it's not too bad at all. Can we get up there? I think we can. We'll need a station in Beaumont, but we can get up there. There we go. We'll plop a station in at the southern end of Beaumont. And should we see if we can buy these? I mean, I don't know how much they're going to cost us. Beer. Yeah, because they're right up there, aren't they? 785,000. Scrub that, guys. We're not paying for that. No, we've got some building to do. I'm going to change where this one is, if it will let me. Right, get rid of you. Let's stick you up there instead, because then we're a little closer to Austin, aren't we? And we're on... yeah, we're up there on that contour, which is where Beaumont's sitting, roughly. There are a few more height variations between there. But I think this early on, we shouldn't worry too much about having separate freight and passenger lines. We just need to get it up and running, don't we? There we go, 0%. How much is that going to cost us? Pricey! Pricey! Worth it. Let's build it. And then we'll double track you. Get us a gridiron in. It's good to be back. It really is. I've been looking forward to playing the next chapter. Get our direction of travel underway. We'll ignore the supply stations, or the supply towers, but not the maintenance yards. That one's a bit rough when they vanish. We've already got a station in Austin, in an interesting place. We definitely don't want it there. That's bizarre. But we do want to go up there, don't we? We've got to connect these two as well. A single station outside of a city, but we can at least grab both the cows and the corn for San Antonio and Austin. We've got grain down there for Corpus Christi. We've got some hills to avoid up that end by the looks of things. We haven't played it, so hopefully we can hook up all of these rural businesses and get that marked off. We definitely want sugar in the mix, don't we? We'll come in up there. I'm not sure about double tracking it. We're only going to ever use 2 platforms, so I'm not bothered about cutting that off. In fact, it's in a bit of a weird place, isn't it? We should go quite a bit closer to our cities there. Yes, that would make more sense. If we go right at the top there, it cuts down the amount of track we have to build. I thought I placed that then. But no, it was not me. Now, what we could do with this one, we could have this as a freight run. I don't mind it. It'll more than likely only be one train. So we could save a little bit on double tracking, perhaps. Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll save a little bit. We'll have to upgrade it eventually. But we'll have more direct track into the station. So we're waiting outside the station there. Get us signalled up for you. And if we are going to pass through Taylor train station to pick up our sugar and then have not a mixed service running between the two, it's going to save us having to build too many maintenance yards, isn't it? At the beginning, we can use Houston as the main repair place. So that's that set. We've still only got a singular we've still only got a singular sugar farm. We should definitely hook this up because it's ours. And we'll go around the avoid the private line there. I guess we could go that way round, couldn't we? And we'll slot in a block away. I don't mind them getting involved at the moment with the passenger line. It's early days, isn't it? We can see the signals here. So if we leave a block just there. And do we want to do the same thing here? It's going to take a lot of grain to start with, but we could have our freight trains pass through the rural businesses there. Yeah, this one I feel is going to be busier. We could probably get away with a single one down here, but we'll have a double one at the top. Right, where's our signal? If we pop into here, we can create ourselves a block, can't we? I believe. There we go. Yep, we get a full block there for our trains to park up in. Get you all set up. Hey, network's underway in Texas, guys. Lovely. We will not need we will not need gridirons here because we're passing through and picking up and exchanging and taking whatever goodies they eventually take. We'll need some signaling on that section. Okay, up to Austin. And, well, do you know what we should probably do? We need 5, don't we? We've got 2. This will be 4. And that'll be 5. So, we'll get that set up. We'll get a wood run. And, ooh, why can't we build there? A second train station cannot be built in this city until the first one has been connected. I don't like the first one. So, can we delete you? You cannot demolish this train station. Oh, that's awkward, isn't it? How do we do that? Right, we can't... This is terrible. Let's connect this up. Just briefly, temporarily. So we can place our second station in. And we'll just ignore that one. For now. Well, I mean, I hope we can ignore it. Because it's not very useful sat there, is it? Yeah, once we buy this line, we can sort that out, can't we? Right, but we've got our other station in. And we'll get rid of that line again. There we go. And can we delete you now? Nope. We're stuck with you. Right, so let's get this first task done. We need a station over here. Thankfully, we can have it this side for... Well, we could probably have 2 stations there. We could send them that way to Austin. Austin and... I love the way I can't pronounce Austin and I live right next to it. On the outskirts. I'm down there somewhere, guys. We're down here. That's where I'm recording right now. Near Austin. Right. Anyway, Corpus Christi. Oh, this wood's got to go all the way down to Brownsville. So's that. Corn. We could make that a warehouse, couldn't we, to distribute the corn? That is... And the wood. But we can have a direct line down to Beaumont. Yes. And maybe down to Houston. We shall see. But let's get this first task done. We've got to get some trains running at some point. This one is... Yeah, let's put the main line in first. We are going to set up a bunch of trains. This will be the last thing we do today. And then we can have a little cab ride, can't we? Wherever we're sitting on it and whatever train we're going to put on there. Let's give you a gridiron just there and we'll connect you up into... Ooh, do we want double platforms? Probably not this early on, so we'll go in like that. And for now, we'll just do something... Yeah, something like that will do, won't it? Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. It should give us the task, though. You're going to hook into there. We can probably avoid all of that height, can't we? It'll be a little more expensive. A little flatter, though, which will be lovely. There we go, 0%. Not too expensive. I'll tell you what. Task complete.
I am relieved to see that you can probably at least tell a wheel from a chimney.
Now, as far as this 90,000 goes, this is where we get to a little bit of breathing space, but we do need to concentrate on these 3, which is why we're going to get all this hooked up, all the basic goods, and get them growing as fast as possible. Houston's probably going to have a warehouse at some point. I'm going to double track this. It may... Yeah, it may be quite busy early on. So we'll double track it. We'll get it done. And we'll have gridirons and stuff down here. We may need to add extra platforms because that corn's got to go out. As I mentioned, possibly a warehouse as well as distributing the goodies that are created there. We'll have another gridiron just there. We've got one just there. This is a single track to start with. We definitely can't leave the ones we've purchased alone, can we? We've got to buy those apples as well. Right. Anyhow, shall we get some trains purchased and start making a bit of money? Because so far all we're doing is spending it. So this is just going to be a passenger service. Express goods only. It's recommending the class 121 as our express train. 95,200 coins. We're definitely going to have to take a bond out. Our mixed services are going to be led by the Brooks Mogul. And the Mastodon is the freight. Yeah, freight. 49 miles per hour. Is that the best freight? It's got 113% tractive power. So it'll definitely get up to speed. Is it better than the Baldwin 10 wheeler? Just by a lot. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Is it expensive? No, not really. 72,000. I like it. I mean, we could judge it by its reliability and maintenance requirements and its consumption. Then we have to keep clicking backwards and forwards. So no. But that's not what this is going to be. So our express services are going to be the class 121. Let's get you up and running, our first service. And then we've got the Mastodon's going to do this. Back and forward like so. And yeah, you're going to be freight only. So it should choose the Mastodon for us, which you have. 72,000. We won't wait at the corn. The grain. There we go. Get you up and running. We'll have one running like that as well. Freight only. Get you running. There we go, guys. We're getting our trains up and running. Now, this will be a mixed service for now. From Austin to Houston. We should make a little bit of money on that, and we might be able to double it up early on. Automatic, indeed. This will be the Inyo. Right, is our mixed service. No, it's this, isn't it? The Brooks Mogul. Well, this is 75% tractive power. Better than the early freight loco. 59 miles an hour. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, compared to the Inyo, it's marvellous. Brooks Mogul. It's time to issue some bonds. Hopefully we can. That'll be sad if we can't. 553,000. Not bad. Do you know what? Let's take it. That's kind of lovely, isn't it? That will allow us to complete... Not that train. Oh, we lost our setup, didn't we? That's fine. It's automatic. Not the Mastodon. We would like the Brooks Mogul. Get you up and running. Now, we will need a freight train running into Austin from Parker Station. And if we can afford it, we'll hook up to San Antonio, was that? This will be freight only. Mastodon, get you up and running. Can we get us a station in San Antonio? I mean, it's more passengers on our network, isn't it? And they can have a direct line and a line down into Parker Station as well. So we'll get you down there. We might be able to do this, guys. It might be affordable, which will be great because that's quite a few lines already, isn't it? There we go. We could run freight trains that way, couldn't we, to Corpus Christi through here. We'd need a few of them. Eventually we could separate them, but I find it's better to utilize existing lines early on. Would be kind of nice to have a connection here with that would just need to be mixed, wouldn't it? No, express only. We can have a little express line with a massive cutting. Marvellous. I'll take it. And then, yeah, we'll get going. We'll set these up. And that's a lot done. Episode 1, look at that. Few services straight away. I believe the express line might benefit us more than the freight for now. So we'll have an express if we can afford it, which we can. running through there. We've only got 27,000 left. We are currently making an average balance of 0 coins per week. Until, that is, all of our trains set off. They're all parked up now, but they're all going to get moving. We still have a few more to set up. We are going to head down to Brownsville. We've got all of these coming in as well, so that's how we'll set up our other trains. Did I not set that one up? That one would have probably been ideal, wouldn't it? 100,000. Oh, well, you've done it now. In fact, yeah, think about it, Grant, before we leave. Let's change this. We're going to get rid of you. And I'm going to change my mind there. Get that back. Let's take advantage of that connection bonus. Freight only. Yes, Mastodon. Yeah, it's cheaper as well, isn't it? We still can't buy another one, but we will be able to once all these trains come in. We should get quite the payday. We've got 75,000 there. 75,000 there. 150, 250,000. Then we'll head down to Brownsville, probably in the next episode, as quickly as possible, to grab that 250,000, which will help our expansion. Guys, there we go. Network, initial network done. Let's just hit play. Make sure all those trains are setting off. Haven't got that set. Probably a little pointless this early on though. There we go. Yes, we've got passenger, express train there. A couple of freight trains. This is a mixed service. We've got a freight train heading off down there. And we've got our freight train heading off into Austin. So as soon as he gets into Austin, we'll get all of our money. Beautiful. All right, guys, we are heading to Houston. And we're on our mixed service from Austin behind us. We should see all of our connection bonus things pop up as we take our little journey. That's chapter 4 underway. I'm excited. We've got to get all those cities growing, haven't we? Guys, thank you for watching. And until next time, take care.